that's the whole game. Uh, yeah, that's the entire campaign. Uh, I have to say it was super short. Wow, it was insanely short. I mean, I think at this point we're like just over halfway through MW2 campaign. But damn. Uh I will say that story was all right. I mean, I'm so confused now cuz it's just like Makarov isn't even dead. Like they literally said that he's just injured. To be honest with you, I didn't really like story was all right. It wasn't great. I feel like they definitely could have done better. Like it's still a good story, but like for Infinity Ward, I mean, this was kind of a weak entry. I'm assuming they're just gonna add more to the stories as the season progresses, which I don't really prefer, if I'm gonna be honest. But overall thoughts of the campaign, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10, and I feel like it's only that high because the way you played the missions were a little different, like the level design. You instead of just like spawning in with your own gun, and like the only way to get new guns is by killing enemies. It's cool that you can get stuff around the map. I mean, you're playing on the Verdansk maps, which it's cool, but it's hardly anything new. I mean, you're just playing on the old maps, like remade, whatever. Uh, but yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. Just not really too much bias. It's just if I were to be nice, it'd be a 7. But in my opinion, I feel like if you just take the story and then the length of the game, this game's $70, man. I mean, you'd think they drop a good story. I'd have to give it like maybe even a 5. So let's just kind of meet somewhat in the middle. 5.5 out of 10. I think that's my rating for the campaign. Didn't really like it. Wasn't really the strongest entry. Of course, being able to play with Ghost and Soap were always my favorite missions. Those missions were fun, but still kind of a weak entry. If I'm gonna be honest with you, it wasn't too great. I mean, MW2 was all about the missiles, which that was kind of the plot was kind of dumb, but I really enjoyed the campaign because it was just the dialogue was great and it was actually really enjoyable. But I already had dialogue, you know what I mean? Like I already had that dialogue. I already know these new characters. Like these are just characters that were introduced in MW 2019 as like battle pass characters. But you didn't really get to know like the new like versions of them. But you got to see that in MW2 and I thought that was cool. And yeah, they still have like the same chemistry in the third game, but it's like if you take a step back again for the second year in a row, like the story is just super weak, and this year it's super short, so not really the greatest. They're probably gonna do the same thing with every season. They add a little bit to the story. I think it's stupid. It'd be nice if they just had like maybe dedicated campaigns. Like I don't want to play a raid just to get the story. You know what I mean? Like I want like an actual campaign to play. But yeah, that's my rating. 5.5 out of 10. Not the greatest entry, but they added something different, but story just wasn't solid. I mean, I'm just kind of jumping all over the place. They're throwing us back in Verdansk, which is cool, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's great. So yeah, um, I'll catch y'all guys in the next video whenever next week when the new COD drops. Probably gonna be making videos for each of the guns that I use, so it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. So I'll catch you later.